Let's just step back here and consider how many times Trump aides have lied or contradicted themselves in official testimony. When it comes to meetings with foreign governments during the campaign, just last week, the Senate Judiciary Committee released transcripts of its meeting with Don Jr. And here's one portion of that testimony where he changed his story multiple times in just a few sentences. What types of interactions were you aware of? Trump campaign officials and Russian government personnel? I was aware of none. Have you seen press reports about various meetings, such as with Ambassador Kislyak? If I could scratch my last statement, yes, I did read about that after the fact. Were you aware of those at the time they occurred? I knew something. I believe there was a meeting there. I wasn't part of the meeting, but yeah, I believe I was aware that it occurred. I didn't know about it. I knew about it after the fact. I knew about it when it happened. Man, Trump nailed it when he named this one. He looks like someone who can't keep his story straight. Let's also call him Donald. And then, there's the fact that the official story from the Trump camp has always been that Trump himself was unaware of the meeting with the Russians. But then last week, Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, seemed to admit that he might have been aware at the time and just forgot about it. Giuliani said he would be surprised if the president knew at the time of the controversial June 2016 Trump Tower meeting, but even if he did, it would have made sense if it subsequently slipped his mind. Honestly, I would be surprised if he could remember. What a comfort it must be to have Rudy Giuliani in your corner. Don't worry, boss. I told him that maybe you knew about it, but you're too stupid to remember. You're welcome. The other crazy part of this latest story about Don Jr.'s meeting with Gulf states is who else was in his office when the group met. Till now, there have been a few Trump aides who have managed to keep their names out of the special counsel's investigation, but the New York Times reports that when they arrived, Stephen Miller, a top campaign aide who is now a White House advisor, was in Donald Trump Jr.'s office as well. Ah, yes, top campaign aide Stephen Miller. Although Miller wasn't actually in the office for the meeting, he was right outside in his usual spot on the ledge. So, with Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigators closing in on several key Trump allies and finding out more about his campaign's ties to other foreign governments, Trump and his team are doing everything they can to obstruct the investigation. And now, Trump is spinning a wild new conspiracy theory about the FBI implanting a spy in the Trump campaign, and he wants the government to look into it. Trump tweeted on Sunday, I hereby demand, and will do so officially tomorrow, that the Department of Justice look into whether or not the FBI or DOJ infiltrated or surveilled the Trump campaign for political purposes. Well, I've heard Donald Trump say a lot of things, but I never thought one of those things would be hereby. I hereby demand an investigation, albeit heretofore unheard of. Nonetheless, I demand one forthwith. Now, the FBI did have an informant working with them, but that's not a spy. I mean, seriously, you think they needed a spy to catch you colluding with Russia? All they needed was a microphone. You literally looked into the camera on TV and said, Russia, if you're listening. That's like coming out of the bathroom with white powder under your nose and saying, I am ready to party because I just did cocaine. This has been a closer look.